Hello to all my friends. This is a continuation of the instructional videos about the LS brand H100 inverter. Today we want to talk about another feature of this inverter. The feature we want to discuss today, the power on run feature. What does this feature mean? If you start and stop the inverter using the command terminals on the inverter itself, for example, terminal P1 for forward rotation or terminal P2 for reverse rotation, and the power supply. If the input power to your inverter is cut off and then restored after some time, and if this feature is enabled in the inverter, if this setting is active, there is no longer any need for the operator to go and restart your inverter. The inverter will automatically, after the power is cut off and then restored after some time, it detects that your digital input was in a logical 1 state at the time of the power outage, and it will automatically start the inverter. But which parameters should we set in the inverter? One important point to keep in mind regarding the power on run feature is that your start-stop reference or your command source must absolutely be set to the control terminals. In other words, your start-stop must be done through the inverter's digital inputs. To do this, your DRV06 should be set to FXRX1 or FXRX2. But to enable the power on run feature, you need to go into the advanced parameter group or ADV, set parameter number 10 to 1 and save it. That is, you need to activate this feature. Once you have successfully enabled this specific feature, as we previously discussed, if the inverter's primary input power is completely disconnected or interrupted, the inverter will automatically restart your electric motor. So there's no need for the operator to manually disconnect and reconnect the digital input to restart the motor. So that's the power on run feature in the H-set inverter. Let's move on. Let's apply all the settings we've learned to this 400 inverter and test this feature together. So as we said, to activate the power on run feature on this 400 inverter, we must make sure that our start source is set to the control terminals. To do this, we said we need to go into parameter DRV06. We said our common source should either be set to FXRX1 or FXRX2. We'll set it to FXRX1, which means the control terminals, and confirm it. As we mentioned, to activate the parameter related to power on run on the 400 inverter, we need to enter the advanced parameter group or ADV. We set this feature to 1 to enable it, activate it, and then return. Now we press the auto run button so that it goes into blinking mode. Now I'll increase the frequency a bit and set it to 10 Hz. Alright, now if I activate the digital input PX, which is for forward rotation, my inverter will start up the electric motor. Now, if the input power to my inverter is cut off and then after a while is restored, because I have enabled the power on run feature on the 400 inverter, the inverter will automatically start up the electric motor without me needing to trigger the PX input again. Now I'm going to cut off the inverter's input power. Let me wait until the inverter's input power is completely disconnected. Now the input power to my inverter has been cut off. I wait for a while and then reconnect the inverter's input power. As soon as I reconnect it, since I have enabled the power on run feature, the inverter should automatically start up the electric motor. I'm turning the power back on. You can see that as soon as the inverter's input power was restored, the inverter started to run the electric motor, without me having to activate the P1 digital input terminal. So in this tutorial video, we got familiar with the power on run feature in the 400 inverter.